Chicago mourns Stacey King, a Bulls icon remembered for his heart, humor, and championship legacy. Chicago is grieving a profound loss. A void has opened in the city's basketball soul, one that fans say will not be easily filled. Stacey King, former Chicago Bulls champion and longtime beloved broadcaster, has passed away at the age of 59. While the cause of death has not been publicly disclosed, the impact of his passing has already echoed across the NBA community, the Bulls organization, and generations of fans who grew up hearing his voice. For Chicago, Stacey King was never just a former player. He was a champion. He was a storyteller. And for more than 3 decades, he was the unmistakable voice of Bulls basketball. A sudden loss that shook the NBA community. News of King's passing spread quickly, leaving fans, former teammates, and NBA figures in shock. The reaction was immediate and emotional, especially from those who shared the court and locker room with him during the Chicago Bulls' golden era. Just a month before his passing, King had appeared on his podcast Gimme the Hot Sauce, speaking joyfully about his broadcasting career. In his usual upbeat tone, he reflected on how much he loved the game and the privilege of still being around basketball. For King, it was never a burden. "It's a fun job, it never seems like work for me," he said. "Every night, I go to work, win, lose, or draw, I'm having fun." Those words now carry a bittersweet weight. What sounded like a simple reflection on a fulfilling career has become a reminder of how deeply he loved the sport and the community around it. Before he became a voice synonymous with Chicago basketball, Stacey King was a player who contributed to one of the most iconic dynasties in sports history. Drafted 6th overall in the 1989 NBA draft by the Chicago Bulls, King entered the league at a pivotal moment. His arrival coincided with the rise of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and a franchise on the brink of global dominance. As a rookie, King played in all 82 games, embracing his role as a dependable frontcourt presence off the bench. While he was not a primary scorer, his energy, physicality, and willingness to accept his role made him a valuable piece of a championship-caliber roster. The Bulls would go on to capture their first three-peat in the early 1990s, and King was there for every step of the journey. He wasn't the star. But he was part of the foundation. King's contributions included crucial minutes during intense playoff battles, including Chicago's legendary comeback in Game 6 of the 1992 NBA Finals against the Portland Trail Blazers. The Bulls erased a 15-point deficit in the final quarter to secure the championship, one of the defining moments of the dynasty era. They were about winning. Brotherhood with legends, Jordan, Pippen, and Cartwright. He often spoke with admiration about Scottie Pippen, once describing him as his best teammate. Their bond reflected the chemistry and unity that defined the Bulls' championship teams. Pippen, upon hearing of King's passing, shared a heartfelt tribute that captured the respect shared across the roster. "Sad to hear about the passing of Stacey King," Pippen wrote. "A champion, a great teammate, and a true ambassador for the game. His impact on the Bulls organization and the city of Chicago will be remembered for generations. Rest in peace, King." Veteran center Bill Cartwright also honored King, recalling both his basketball talent and his personality. "A message to the world about one of my closest friends," Cartwright wrote. As good of a basketball player as he was an even better person, friend, and leader. "Stacey continuously reminded me to look at the good in life. His presence brought pure happiness and joy to all." Life beyond the court, a broadcasting legend is born. After his playing career ended, King transitioned into coaching briefly before finding his true second calling, broadcasting. It was in the booth where he truly became a Chicago legend. As a color commentator for Bulls broadcasts, King developed a reputation for his vibrant personality, comedic timing, and unforgettable catchphrases. His style was unique, emotional, and unapologetically expressive. He didn't just describe basketball, he celebrated it. Fans quickly connected with his energy. For more than 30 years, King became a nightly presence in Chicago homes, guiding viewers through the highs and lows of Bulls basketball eras that followed the Jordan dynasty. Chicago didn't just hear the game through him. They felt it. The catchphrases that defined a voice. Stacey King's broadcasting legacy is inseparable from his iconic phrases, lines that became part of Bulls culture and NBA fan memory. Or after a dominant play. Step back and let me kiss myself. Or describing a tough defensive stop. His energy turned ordinary moments into unforgettable highlights. Stop it. Stop it. What are you doing, Dragic? Do you know who this kid is? He is from Chicago. King's emotional reactions weren't scripted. They were instinctive, genuine, and deeply tied to his love for the game and his city. Then, in classic Stacey King fashion, he added, "Elizabeth, I'm coming, baby. Oh Lord." The reference, pulled from classic television comedy, became an instant fan favorite. And perhaps his most beloved closing line. It became more than a sign-off. A personality that defined Chicago basketball culture. What made Stacey King special was not just what he said, but how he made people feel. Chicago fans trusted him. Bulls chairman Jerry Reinsdorf summed up the organization's feelings in a public statement, calling King a cherished member of the Bulls family and highlighting his decades-long connection to the franchise. His influence extended beyond broadcasting. He represented continuity between eras, the championship dynasty, the rebuilding years, and the modern Bulls. A legacy that extends far beyond basketball. Stacey King's impact cannot be measured by points, rebounds, or statistics alone. He was a role player on one of the greatest teams in NBA history. He was a mentor and teammate to legends. He was a coach, briefly guiding the next generation. But most importantly, he became a cultural voice for Chicago basketball. His personality made fans laugh. His passion made them feel connected. And his storytelling made every game feel like an event. In a sports world often defined by statistics and analysis, King reminded people that basketball is also entertainment, emotion, and community. Remembering Stacey King. As tributes continue to pour in, one truth has become clear: Stacey King meant something different to everyone. To teammates, he was a reliable and joyful presence. To the Bulls organization, he was a lifelong ambassador. To fans, he was the voice of their nights. And to Chicago, he was family. His passing leaves behind a silence that will be felt in every Bulls broadcast moving forward. But his voice will not be forgotten. It lives in highlight reels. And as Bulls fans once heard him say at the end of so many nights, "Drive home safely, King. Beep. Beep."